What's up, team? We're going to talk about some circle basics. I'm just going to run through these. If you want a written definition of all these, check the notes. I'm just going to talk through them and kind of draw the pictures. But if you want the wordy definitions, please check the notes. All right, first, circle. What the heck is a circle? We all know they're round. We're familiar with that. But how is it technically defined? Technically, it's a set of all the points that's equidistant from a particular point, meaning all the points in the circle are the exact same distance away from the center of the circle. So if this point here is the center of the circle, if I were perfect, if I had a compass or something, each of these points is the same distance away from that center. That's how we define a circle. That's why they are shaped the way that they are. Okay, now the rest of these are going to be, assuming you know what a circle is, and we're going to build on that. Some of these you know, some of these are brand new. First one, a radius. A radius is the distance from the center of the circle to any point on the circle itself. So it's this distance right there. That length, whatever it is, as we just discussed, all the points on the circle are the same distance from the center. So you could say the radius is there, or there, or there, or any of the infinitely many positions there. Those are all radius or radii. Next, diameter. Diameter is, it's like the radius, but it goes all the way across, and it goes through the center of the circle. So diameter is the width of the circle at its widest point. Meaning it touches the circle on both sides of the diameter and it goes through the center. It can go through anywhere, however. These are all going to be the exact same length, assuming that they're straight lines that go exactly through the center. I know my drawing here isn't perfect. Okay, those are the ones I think you're familiar with. The rest of these I think are going to be at least a little bit new, a little bit less familiar. This one, tangent line. We've studied trig ratios, sine, cosine, and tangent ratios in the past. This isn't that. Sorry. This is a different meaning for the word tangent. So a tangent line is a line that touches the circle once and only once. So an example of it would be something like this, where a line comes by and it touches the circle exactly once. A tangent line could also be over here. Gosh, this should be a straight line. Or it touches the circle once. Because there are infinitely many points around a circle, there are infinitely as many tangent lines as well. So it's just the line, or any line that touches the circle once and only once. Next, a chord. I know there's a C, it looks like chord, but it's chord. A chord is any line that has both endpoints on the circle. So an example of a chord could be something like this, because both of those points are on the circle. Another chord could be something like this. You could even connect these dots if you want. That's a chord. Here's a chord. Those are all different chords. They come in all different sizes. You could have one really small if you wanted for some reason. Obviously, you could have larger ones. A very specific chord that you're all familiar with already is the diameter. There it is. The diameter technically is a chord. It's just a very specialized chord. It's like how a square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square. It's kind of like that, where a diameter is a chord by definition because it touches the triangle, or it touches the circle twice, but not every chord is a diameter. For example, none of these are diameters, but all of these are chords. So a chord is a special, diameter is a special type of chord. Diameter is a special type of chord. All right, next, minor arc. So there's two different arcs, spoiler alert. I'm going to put A and B in the same place in both of them. The minor arc is the distance from A to B on the circle itself, but minor specifies that it's the shortest distance between the two. So the minor arc is this distance right there, and we'll actually be measuring that eventually. We'll be able to figure out how much of, how long or what that chunk of the arc is, the length of that. The major arc is similar, but it's the other way. So you're still going from A to B, but you're going the long way. So the major arc would be this distance from A to B the long way. Now, sometimes a question might be asked, or somebody might be talking about a circle, and they'll just say the arc. That's very common for somebody just to refer to as arc and not specify major or minor. You can always assume when someone says arc, they're talking about the minor arc. This is the common assumption. This is the norm. This is how these ideas will normally be used. But technically, a major arc, they do exist, and we should be aware of them, and there will be problems where they're irrelevant. Okay, basics of circles. Here they are. If you want some more wordy technical definitions, again, please check the notes. You'll see these exact same things with more technical definitions. Here we go. You are prepared for some practice problems now.